everybody! Today I'm going to be doing a tag video. What sort of tag video? One that I think I've made up. As far as I can tell, there aren't any other tags exactly like it. There is one that's similar, which was the character tag, but this is slightly different because I want to focus solely on side characters. So yeah, let's get started. The comedian. These are the characters that lighten the mood. They're goofy and silly, and they're always causing some sort of mayhem and trouble. The choice for this was obvious. Fred and George from Harry Potter. Now, I chose the 5th book to show you because one of my favorite things is when they completely terrorize Umbridge. I mean, it's hilarious. They're hilarious. I love them. They're like my favorite twins to ever grace Bookland. Number 2, the a-hole. You love to hate this character. They're basically an obnoxious fly that your main character has to deal with time and time again. The character I chose for this one was Ambrose from the Name of the Wind series. Oh my god, I hate this kid. Let me just explain. When Quoth is at a certain university, he runs into this kind of sleazebag who thinks he owns the freaking world just because his family has a lot of money. I just don't like him. I don't like him, and I hope some misery befalls him in this book. Number 3, the Sunken Ship. These characters either exasperate you or you kind of root for them, but either way, they are never going to end up with the main character. They are the love interest that will never be. I had 2 choices for this one, and I just couldn't choose between them. Archer from Fire by Kristen Cashore, and Gale from The Hunger Games by Suzanne Collins. Archer's not a fantastic human. He is a little possessive and doesn't know how to deal with his feelings for the main character, and he acts out pretty impulsively. But at the same time, he is Fire's best friend, and so you can't help but kind of love him despite the fact that he has very few redeeming qualities. And so I didn't really root for him, but I was really upset with what happens to him in this book. I don't know how many of you were rooting for Gale, but I mean, I kind of was the first time I read through the series. Not that there are really sides to take in this book. There really aren't, actually. I kind of just thought it would happen. And then it didn't, and I'm okay with it. I'm happy that she ended up with Peeta, because honestly, Peeta is the better person. Gale's a little too violent. I guess that was kind of a Hunger Games spoiler, but sorry not sorry. If you haven't read these already, I don't know what you've been doing. Number 4, the Sass Master. All sass, all the time. I wasn't gonna pick this character because, if I'm being 100% honest with myself, he is a main character, but I had to pick him. I had to. It's Legolas from The Lord of the Rings. I have not read these books until recently. I just finished the first one a few months ago, and I still have to read the other 2, but oh my god, is Legolas sassy in this. I can't help it. I have to pick Legolas. He is the Sass Master. That title goes to Legolas. It's the way it is. Whatever. Breaking my own rules. Moving on. Number 5, the sweetheart. They're just so nice, and you just wish they could either be your best friend, or you just want to go up and hug them and love them forever. This was an obvious choice for me. It's Teddy from Bitter Blue. I immediately fell in love with Teddy. How is everyone not in love with Teddy? He is just the sweetest person in the freaking world. He just wants everyone to be able to learn how to read and prosper in the city, and he just believes in Bitter Blue right from the go, even though he knows nothing about her. Number 6, the Bookish One. You know who I'm talking about. They're always quoting something. They know all of the facts, and they are willing to tell you. Of course, if you are a main character, you probably don't listen to them like you should, but they are there telling you all the things. For this one, I picked Tarly from A Song of Ice and Fire. Sam is wonderful. It's those Sams, you know? Samwise the Brave and Samwise Tarly, the best Sams that ever were Sams. He's not the toughest guy in the world, but he is smart and he is loyal, and I freaking love him. Number 7, the Mysterious One. Their mind is an enigma, and that is exactly how they like to keep it. Maybe by the end of the series they'll shed a little bit of light in their life, but no promises. We may never know more about these characters. For this, I chose Angela from, what did he call it? It's not the Aragon series. Inheritance Cycle? I think it's Inheritance Cycle. Let's go with that. These books. Angela, the witch, healer, badass, warrior. We don't even know. How do you define Angela? She's the quirkiest character. Let's just put it that way. She knows everything, but no one knows where she came from or really who she is. I don't know. She's one big mystery. That's why I picked her. Next, number 8, the Loyal One. There is always those characters who are just so ridiculously loyal to either the main character or the villain or who knows, but that is the trait that stands out about them. It was actually really hard for me to pick one. The most obvious choice for me was Dobby from Harry Potter, but I already am using a few Harry Potter characters in this list, so I wanted to choose someone else. So I chose Yorick from The Golden Compass. Yorick is a polar bear, and there is like an intelligent race of polar bear warrior peoples in this book, and he is extremely loyal to the main character. Anytime he comes onto the scene, you just flooded with relief. You're like, oh, thank goodness he's gonna save the day. Number 9, the Unhinged minor villain. They're evil, they're crazy, and you just never quite know what they're gonna do next because they're insane. Bellatrix. Do I need to say anything else about this? Number 10, the self-interested one. The sort of Jack Sparrow kind of character who is pretty much out for themselves, and sure, they have people that they eventually come to care about and that they will help, but it's all about them, really. For this, I chose Dustfinger from the Inkheart series. I really love this series, and Dustfinger is like my favorite character in the whole thing. He has one goal in a one-track mind. He just wants to get back in his book, man. He just wants to get back in his book. Moving on. Number 11, the Plot Twister. This is the character that is kind of either two-faced or a double agent. They surprise you, and there's plot twists involved. For this one, I chose another character from the Inheritance Cycle, Murtagh. That's all I'm gonna say. I love him. He's one of my favorites in this series, despite what happens to him. But yeah, I'm not gonna say anything more. Murtagh, the plot twister. Next. Number 12, the Mentor. Now, there are plenty of mentors who are in the limelight and are basically main characters, but there are other ones who are a little bit more of the side character variety. So for this one, I chose Ben from the Name of the Wind series. He has a life outside of Kvothe, which a lot of the other mentors don't. Like, their sole purpose is to guide the main character off into the sunset. Ben doesn't. He's just literally around for a little while to teach Kvothe what he needs to know, and then he kind of sends him off and says good luck. I like him a lot. Moving on. Number 13, the Little Squirt. It's a young kid that kind of sticks out in your mind. Young kids are always interesting in books. They could be adorable, or really obnoxious, or super creepy. I chose another character from A Song of Ice and Fire, Robin Arryn, the Little Lord of the Vale in the Eyrie, Caitlin Tully Stark now. Her sister's little boy. He's the most disturbing child ever. Like, his favorite thing is to see his mom order people to be flung off a cliff, essentially. He's just a total spoiled brat, and he's creepy as hell. There are a couple obvious choices for this one, but I decided to choose Lana's dog, Patrick, from the Gone series. I have not finished this series. I don't plan to, necessarily, but I do like Lana's character, and I love her dog, Patrick. He's just always a source of comfort for her in the crazy times of the phase. And so yes, I chose Patrick, just to put a little variety in my list. Last but not least, number 15, the Creepy Beastie. It may not be a main villain, but it is definitely nightmare-inducing. For this one, I chose Shelob from The Lord of the Rings, cause dat spider. I don't even think Hagrid could love Shelob. Like, why'd it have to be spiders, Gollum? Why couldn't we just follow the butterflies? So yeah, that was my side characters tag. I hope you liked it. I hope you had fun watching me do it. Alright, Jess, I'm Jessica Albee. I obviously tag you, and then if you are watching and you want to do it, consider yourself tagged. Let's see if it spreads around. It's kind of similar to the character tag. Some people might like it. I don't know. We'll see what happens. But this has been a tag video. I'm Jackie, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye!